What's up, what's up, what's up again, people? So we are back with another fix. Today's the high Capa, the auto high Capa that I built. Bloody amazing little gun. The issue I found with it though is Vosk's, how do you want to call it, like the original, what's it called, housing. So let's show you guys this. The original housing and nozzle just cannot keep up with that system. The Capa and ZCI ones are able to. However, I've chucked that in my high Capa kit gun, so I needed a fix for this one. I'm finger crossing and praying that Novrich's one will work. The one from the SSP 2, I want to say. I think it's from the SSP 2. Yeah. So we're essentially going to give that a go. I've never tried this before, and just like you guys see in most of my videos, I'm basically testing things that nobody else has done before, and if people have done it, they haven't done it with the same parts that I've done it with. So don't judge me if this doesn't work, because realistically it's a trial gun. What else is in here? I think this is a spring from a Novrich SSP2 Vosk plunger, and then I've got like a little short stroke kit on there, just to help it not lock back and hit the slide. Internally I'm running this is the one I was talking about in other videos. So this is essentially a Vosk, what is it called, a Vosk 6.1 SSP2 barrel. I just put a 5.1 inside my kit gun. So yeah, but this was the original one. I bought the 6 one, the really long one, 6.1, the really long one, when I was just trying to test things out to see if they were worth investing in barrels long term from them. And to be honest, I found good things. That's why I've left it in my automatic gun. I mainly only use this one when I go to like firing range, or there's some sites we play at where they're a bit like they bend the rules a little bit for us. I tend to bring that here, which is why I'm trying to get this upper sorted. So essentially, like you always see me in videos, when I take these guns down, I tend to give them a degrease, because why not? You know what I'm saying? I tend to hold the nozzle, give them a degrease and a regrease, because why not do that when you take down and put back up a gun? You might as well. That's perfect time to do maintenance. I'm not gonna go too ham here, because again, this is another concept gun, so I don't want to change too much. I did put Loctite last time I put this gun together, so I know I'm gonna have a bit of issue getting the upper off, but bear with us and we will make this happen. I can see the Loctite that I put there. That's the maddest thing. I'm just hoping it wasn't too much that I've put. Oh, come on, don't tell me I put it in the chamber. I think I did, you know. What is the way around this? So you guys are starting to see every build. There's all these things that pop up that you didn't plan for. So it looks like something is dried in the space where the Allen key tool goes in. So I'm essentially just trying to scratch that out so I can get this out. Rude, it's not even biting it. Okay, there we are, lift off. It's so annoying though, because it's like, it's not even fully biting it. Yeah, it's actually quite rude, imagine. I don't want to break it by putting a bigger one in there. Especially when I just see it turn. So bear with me, guys. See if I can get this out another way. I've got an idea. do you see the Loctite is blocking off the area? And that screw has to come out or else you're gonna bend it inside there, so we don't want to do that. What is the way around this? Because I don't want to push a bigger Allen key in there and do damage. It just won't bite it enough to turn it.
I'm calling from Netcom Cable. I understand your services up and the appointment set for Thursday? Yes. Oh, we have a technician walking up your area. If you finish with an appointment earlier than expected, will somebody be there for the next hour? Sure, that'd be great. All right, our technician will see you then. Have a nice day.
Okay, it looks like it's coming out now. Just have to be patient with it. And now you guys see part of airsoft. And to be fair, it's my fault for I basically put like a hammer. Like you can see, there's this black unit around the area where my hammer would hit. Essentially what that is a hammer protector. This automatic gun. So yeah, you want to take that bad boy out, put that to one side. Don't be like me, be a bit more organized. To be honest, more time I am organized. It's just because I'm working in this space, I'm having to show you guys what I'm doing. But yeah, because the automatic gun, when I first built it, I found that it was breaking hammers. Like, I probably broke 2 hammers in the space of 1 month. So I was like, oh, what's going on here? And it's because the slide's going back and forth like that. So it means the hammer is going. And obviously, if you've got an alloy style hammer, when you take that down, you want to hold it down so that your spring, you don't lose your nozzle spring. So like you can see, I'm running a Waldo spring. I've mashed up the spring. It's out of shape, but it still works. So don't judge me, because I'm going to chuck that right back in there. Well, maybe I shouldn't, you know, because maybe that's what's causing the problem now. Because that is a bit mucked up. It didn't look like that before when I took it out. The problem is I like this spring a lot, man. It's a Waldo spring. I'm going to try and put it in there. We'll see how we get on. Don't be like me, though. Replace it, because I'll tell a lie. I don't need to put this in there, because I've got 2 new springs that's going into the new hop-up setup. So yeah, that's actually a good point. Don't do that. Don't put a mash-up part back in your gun, car. You're likely to do more damage. The whole point of this video is I'm replacing it out for a better part. I'm going to hold on to that as backup parts for, like, for example, my brother right now. He's just joined airsoft and we're trying to get him a good loadout. So those are parts that he can have access to just in case he wants an upgrade or something like that. I wonder if I can get a charging handle into this gun, because that's at 1 inch away from there. So maybe if I make a hole, give me one sec, guys, because I had an idea of trying to get potentially a charging handle, but because I made a solid top, it was a bit, I knew it was always going to be a bit hard to do, because in theory what should be, there's like a cutout, if you want to call it that. So yeah. And in theory, maybe I should remove all of that, but at the same time, leave it. It works. They say if something not broke, don't fix it. So essentially what I've got is a SSP2 housing. And I'm not going too much in detail like how I often do with other videos. A SSP2 nozzle. But I'm doing that on purpose, peeps, because there's just really no need. Like, do you get what I'm saying? This isn't, again, a build that I want bare people copying, so you give people the info they need to have and you leave it there. Grab some loops. It's good to have a kit because then you got different lubes that do different things. Boom. I can always put the links in the bio if you guys want to know what these things are. But like I said, I'm not being paid by these companies, so I try to not overdo it, because in theory, if they want me to link in the bio, they need to give me a discount code or something, B, or start funding some of my videos. But yeah, so essentially you want to put that in there like that. I tend to just rub it up and down like that, because you have to remember these parts been sitting in a warehouse for ages. So yeah, you want to help the part do its thing. And then I'll put a bit more thin silicone in areas like this, because that's areas that will be rubbing and moving. Maybe up there as well, just under there, because you want to just help the part along. Yes, it does have 2 springs, so it should be all right compared to a standard gun that has like 1 spring. But as they say, every little helps. But yeah. And you guys, I know some people are going to be like, he's always doing some edits to some kind of gun. Yes, because I like custom things. I hate buying something that just doesn't work for me. The mad thing about this is it doesn't look like it seats, half of it seats nice, but the other half is a bit brazy, isn't it? It's like it doesn't like the Vosk frame. If you have a look, I'm going to try and screw it together and see if I get, but there's like a gap in between the frame. So I'm going to try and screw it in and see if that causes some kind of functionality issue. Because if it doesn't, oh shit, do you know what I didn't do? Like a donut, I haven't put my springs in there. So don't be like me. Even though I'm doing this when I'm tired, it's like 11:45. It's 11:45, so don't be like me and shoot these late videos. Do them during sociable hours. So one nozzle spring will go here. And you just want to slide that back, make sure it's seating down. I tend to put my hand over it because this does feel like a tight fit, but these are the springs that came with the kit for it. And then you want to put the other one, and you always want this part of it, you know, the bit with like bare little cylinders, cylinder type springs. You want that bit at the back, touching the back section. Yeah, do you see it's weird? It's like one seats very well, but one doesn't. I don't recall stretching it, so I don't know why it's like that, but hey ho, we're gonna chuck it in regardless. Just need to try and perfectly align this up so it doesn't cause me an issue. Because we don't want that to go flying when I let go, yeah, and it looks like it proper does want to go flying. Which is interesting, like, how did you guys send me 2 springs that are not the same strength, if you get what I mean? Because now it's like I'm having to squeeze it down just to make sure it can fit, and it still feels like it's trying to come out. But I'm going to try it and see if we can get it in without it flying out. Come on. There's a way around this. I just don't want to put unnecessary tape inside the gun. Novorich, man. It doesn't even look like the same 2 springs, which is so interesting. Like, how do you, man, give me springs that are not the same thing, bro? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to test the Waldo spring. I've got some other springs, but now that I've seen that, I'm a bit like, then technically I can play about with it myself then. But again, the Waldo spring is still a bit hefty for it. Yeah, like what springs are they using? I think I'm going to try some quick. I have an idea. Like I could add some thing tape, electric tape, that would firmly hold this into place. I probably wouldn't leave it like that long term, but just so I can see if it's functioning properly. Because it's like the spring don't even want to sit down. It's like it's fighting to come back up. So it looks like maybe they're using a low spring, a low percentage spring, which is why they use 2. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know. Because I was under the assumption the spring was a really good spring via why they were using 2 in it. They're using 2 to kind of just make sure that there was no way, in no circumstance, would the gun fail to load your next BB. I thought that was the kind of idea around it, but now I'm seeing it in actuality. A little part of me is like, but is that really the truth then? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave 1/2 off because that's the one that seats and 1/2 in. Because again, at this stage, we're just trial and error and everything. I think I'm going to put a little bit at the back so it just firmly holds that Waldo spring in place. Come on. I think maybe that's because my hands are greasy as well, so that's probably not helping. So boom, that's now not pressing up. We're gonna try and get that into the upper quickly before that starts to wanna try and force it way back out. That's in there. Let me see if I can seat the screw in there without dramas. Seems to be going in, so it must be somewhat lining up. Cause it's gone in alright. And then key a bit too small. Yeah, like I can feel it tensioning, so it will seat. I'm just hoping it stays seated. That's my biggest thing, because if it doesn't, where there's a gap, let's say that gap let's say it moves about within inside that gap, you'd have problems because your loading housing is doing that. It's moving up and down, especially where the gun's on auto. So I think if this does screw all the way in and lock in, because like I said, I'm testing something that's never been done. So when I build guns like this, yeah, there's 2 different classes of guns that I build, or 2 different main classes, because there's many classes of guns, but like there's 2 main classes of guns that I build. One is guns that have been like proven. I've built them many and many of times. Other people have built them online, and I'm essentially just trying to give somebody something that has already been built. And then we have guns that are like this. I call them project guns, which is essentially something that nobody's really ever done in this format with these specific parts. So it's like you have to take... Is that telling me that you're not going to screw in any further? Yeah, because then that's probably why I didn't use that screw originally, because that don't make no sense. So I think I'm going to have to try that screw again and use Loctite. Hopefully that works. But now it makes sense why I originally used Loctite, because this is what I would have gone through, and I would have went through something where I'm trying to screw the thing in, and obviously the screw they've sent, as much as it looks like it's a good screw, it doesn't seat down. Give me 1 sec, because the Loctite, I think I squeezed that a bit too much. And I don't want to lose access to the inside of that bolt. What's going on? Butterfingers today. So essentially you want to screw that back in. Yes, I put a bit of Loctite and it does look a bit messy, but it's because I'm having to work quickly. Like this screw's a bit temperamental. And obviously I've just put Loctite, so I'm trying to screw it in before the Loctite sets. But yeah, so I'm screwing. In theory, this screw should go all the way down because I took it out of the Vosk housing from all the way down, and it wasn't the original screw that came out of the Vosk housing. So in concept, I should be okay, but when you're building a build like a project gun, like I said, something that nobody's ever done, you just don't bloody know. Every step is a question. And even if it does work, it may cause you another problem. So you may have to end up fixing something else to facilitate it, which is why I'm even having to put another housing in this Vosk upper. but we love it. And like I said, I wanted to get to a stage where I had answers about everything that my mind asked me to do with airsoft. So if I have an idea, I try to just test it, because then I can give people advice as well as I know for my own self. Take out some of that Loctite. You just don't want unnecessary amounts in there. Oh, this screw is actually annoying.
You were saying something? No, you were really on a roll there. Don't stop. I'm interested. Waiting for that. You understand fine now. What do you know about my dog? I don't. How can you even think about lying to me?
Do you see? That's my concern. If it doesn't lock all the way, do you see? It's like it's not gonna. Oh, that's the problem. It's not even screwing in to what I want it to screw into. Okay, I see what the problem is now. Give us 2 seconds, people. Because that wild old spring is forking a bit. Like I said, this is the concept. I won't leave this particular bit like this. Oh, but maybe that's the problem why the other one wasn't going in. It wasn't even because the screw isn't working. It's because it's not lining up well. Give me 1 sec, guys. I think I know what the answer is here. Okay, so I'll take that back out. Let's put this in here and let's see, where do you line up to? So I think I see the problem. This isn't gonna work because it doesn't quite line up with the chamber in that. So yeah, that's annoying. And the annoying thing is I don't think I've got another upper housing that it would line up with, if that makes sense. Maybe the SRC, but do I have the upper? Which kind of doesn't even make sense, because if you look, they look identical, so I don't understand. Give me 2 seconds, peeps. Let me pull out this wild old spring and just see what's going on over here, because that don't even make sense. It looks like it does line up. That's the maddest thing. But maybe something inside the upper is not making it seat well. Oh, annoying. I think I've lost the spring now. Okay, it's over there. Let's just see. Oh, I see the issue now. There's a few things that's hindering it. That's covering. But is that because of the hammer protector though? Because that takes up an inch or two. Let me have a look. Let me remove the hammer protector for a second. I did glue it in, that's why that's a bit firm. See the hassles we go through just to check if something even works. Okay, so do you see it does seat in there, but will it seat in the rest of the chamber so that the slide can function? That's the next question. Because what you want is it to seat flush so that your top slide can operate properly. Whereas sometimes it seats at like an angle, which stops your top slide functioning properly, which it looks like it's doing. It's seating at an angle. I don't even understand why though. Oh, I see it. There's a polymer bit inside the frame that's hindering it, but is it that's stopping it? It is as well. That's so annoying. Because that's literally an inch that's stopping me from using that. An inch. I wonder if I snap it off, will it see? Because I wouldn't want to snap it off and then it doesn't work. That's my one thing. Or I could use like a sander tool to take it down a few inches. Because essentially I've got to adjust the frame to work with this part, or adjust the part to work with the frame. It's metal, so yeah, that's gonna be more drama trying to get it out than me just adjusting the actual part. Okay, there we are. Snap a little part off it. Let's see, does that work? Okay, almost. Why are you not seating flush though? Let me just pull that out for a second. Okay, so without a nozzle, it's seating flush now. So that's good. That's a good sign. It means the hop up, the housing itself, sorry, will work. But why now, when I put the nozzle in, won't it work? Oh, I think I might see it already. It might be that catching on the lip, right? There's a lip inside the frame. Yeah, I think it is that lip, but why would it seat fine without it then? The maddest thing is, there you are. It's done it. It's done it. It's actually done it. My only thing is, that's so close that the screw might not make it. But that's flush. It's just that back bit ain't flush for some reason. Why though? Give me one sec, guys. Okay, so that's possible. I can get a screw into that. I now see it. I need to now get the what's it called, springs in there, and we'll give this a go. At this stage, I'm still 50-50 because a little part of me is like, is that gonna even work though? Like, and let me look for a spring that's actually the right size, because there's no point me putting the body of this housing through drama, because then I'll just be damaging a good working part. Whereas there's times I might even cancel or not postpone, like cancel off a build that I'm in the middle of for things like this, just because like if I feel like I have to change more than 6 to 7 things on a gun, sometimes you just work out it's not worth doing. But at this stage, we're still at like maybe 2, so I'm open to it. I'm sure I've got springs somewhere. I don't want to use these 150s. These 150s as a backup for game guns. Whereas this ain't really a game gun. Give me 2 secs, please. I'm gonna go and check my suitcase. My airsoft suitcase, because I'm sure I've got springs that will fit that without drama. So give me 2 secs, please. I'm sure I saw springs earlier. Bear with me. Barrels. Is that a spring? What is that? What is that? Screw. springs. That is 2 nozzle springs, isn't it? There we go. What else is in that bag? I can see some nice looking things in here.
Charlie.
Yeah, is that a nozzle spring though? It is, okay, good. That's a nozzle spring. Let me just see if I can find one more backup one, because even that one looks really long.
That wasn't about emotion. About a lot of gold, and I wanted it. If you think you deserved, you didn't. Hey, don't talk about right and wrong with me, man, because I don't give a shit. Okay? You got your cards, I got my cards. We made our play, and I came out on top. Okay? Now, if you expect to run up again, that's fine with me. But what is your play here, really? I mean, come on, what do you...
Yeah, sorry guys for the little delay. Bear with me, I'm coming. I just found something else that I might need for another build that's happening over the next few days. So I thought I might as well just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, I can't see any more nozzle springs.
How do you figure that out?
Nozzle spring, what's in there? Maybe that could potentially be a nozzle spring.
No, really, it's over, Charlie.
Interesting, I've got bare high Capa parts, peeps. Bare high Capa parts. You know, sometimes you don't actually realise how much parts you got until you
Bad stuff, you know.
check it over.
Do the best thing you have going for you. Just lose the element of surprise.
Okay, cool. I think I've got what I need.
Told you when I say it.
Do you know what? You just keep on finding mad parts that you didn't even know you had. Give me 2 seconds, because now I need to change a mag plate for my brother quickly. 2 seconds, peeps, and I'm with you. Just so he can identify which mag is from what company. Okay, that's that. You know what? I'm just looking through the amount of stuff I've got. I'm gonna have to do another giveaway, you know, like a newbie giveaway. People who just looking for extra parts for their pistols. I might just do a giveaway. It might not be the best parts in the game, but I've got be like barrels and springs and stuff that I know some people out there on YouTube would appreciate. So I've got some nozzle springs. Let me just check them, because I don't understand how companies sell you a nozzle spring that they say is for a specific gun, but it's so long that you're literally wrestling to get it in the gun. Like, make it make sense. And I'm sure, maybe it's me, you know, maybe I've mixed it up with another spring, but I'm sure when I took it out, I even tested it and was like, oh yeah, they seat lovely. Yeah, so that's too long. That's too long. Where's the next one? This is the one that came in the pack. No, that's the one that fell out. So that's the one that's too long as well. So we're talking about this. And this is why you should keep your area organized. Okay, boom. So I found one of them. Let me see if I can find another spring that will at least seat in there nicely. And I think I have a solution around the screw for the housing, because I found a housing the other day that wouldn't accept any of the screws I had. So I literally had to screw a normal screw in there, and it worked so great. Let me stretch that one a little bit more, because I'd want it to be functional. You just don't want a spring in there that's like half working. Again, don't be like me, because sometimes it's how you have problems in your weapons, but I've been doing this long enough to know do's and don'ts. So you see that one. It's a bit too much. Where's the other one? 1, 2. I had one more spring. Where's the other spring? 1, 2, 3. There you are. I knew I wasn't bugging. Boom. Okay, almost. Just a little bit more. Normally I've got a tool that I use to do this. Yeah, still not quite there. Yeah, normally I've got a tool that I use to do this, but I've been doing this so long that there's like a little technique I use. Yeah, just see, perfect. There's still a little leverage though, you know, it's so annoying. And the thing is, you stretch that too much and you won't be able to fit in there. It's so crazy how this stuff works. Okay, there we are, snug fit. So that's both of them. Now let's try and get this into the housing and line it up like how I had it lined up before, because that lineup was so lovely that everything worked unlike it was working before. I'm gonna have to do this at a weird angle, sorry people, but it's just because I don't want those springs to fall out. Okay, we're in. Are you in line? Are you flush? Not quite. Not quite. Almost. Almost. It's like it goes in there, but you've got to kind of like push it in. Yeah, like, because it did it a second ago. It's like I've almost got it, but not quite. The maddest thing is that looks close to flush, but the front bit of the slide isn't seating the way I want it to. Don't be like me, it's because I'm running out of patience. Try and see this one more time, because I don't understand. I just literally did it. What's the problem, geezer? So maybe what I need to do is put the front bit in first. Because I can see there's a little movement, and you see that just went in nicely. So it's like I've got to put the front bit in first and then screw that thing in at an angle. But how do I put that in without them falling out, geezer? Because you see that seats, even the way it seats, it's like I have to pull it out. So that looks like that's the way the company want it done. But they haven't made our life any easier. It's crazy. Okay, let's give this a go. What I'm going to do is try my, what's it called thing again? Electric tape option. Because it's worked. Like, I've done it on bare guns. Like, where the person's having a nozzle movement issue or spring in the nozzle movement issue, you usually just seat it with like a couple layers of tape or something. So chuck that spring back in. Chuck that one back in as well. Yeah, you just see it with like a layer or two of a solid electric tape. None of that cheap shit. And it tends to kind of hold it nicely in place. Like I said, I probably didn't help myself before because my ends were greasy, but it definitely does work because I've done it on quite a few guns. I've got clients who come to me and they ask me to specifically do it as well. What I don't want to do is put too much of a thick layer because then I'm going to have a problem seating it the same way I just had it seated. It's gonna make a little hole so that I can see where my charging handle sits. Use another little layer just to secure the other springs so there shouldn't be no movement issues. I'm gonna cut that tape back so it's in line. And then we should be good to go, guys. So yeah, let me cut this tape down a bit. And y'all best love me because I filmed almost 4 hours worth of videos for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoy them. Some of them are a bit slow paced and you have got to like bear with me because we're literally doing things that take bare time. But drop any questions in the comment section. Anything that you would like to potentially see me build, please don't be idiots and put stupid things. Like I had one guy comment, oh, he wants me to build an RPG, and I was like, my guy, there is no need to build RPG when there's so many on the market. There's nothing I'm gonna add to an RPG, a safe RPG card. Maybe I could add a rocket or something crazy, fireworks or some shit to it. But like I like to build stuff that we can actually go to a site and play with. So yeah, you guys can ask me to build stuff, but make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Yay, you are working. Okay, cool. So do you see what I'm saying? It's handy to do that little trick, and many people will tell you don't ever do that. But like I said, I've put it in bare guns and it's worked. Like every 6 months you might need to check it, but for me to get a nozzle return for 6 months, I don't mind. I'll check that 10 times if you want, because sometimes trying to get a nozzle return at all is a nightmare. I'm sure I made a hole. Where the hell is the hole though? Okay, there it is. Now to try and get, let's make the hole because I want to genuinely see where that charging handle can go and if it will even work in this gun. Okay, maybe not, you know, maybe this screw is too big. Because I don't like it. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to drift off a little bit, but I just want to see if this charging handle works. You know, you got like an idea in your head. And sometimes you need to test these things just to put your mind at ease. Because I've been thinking about this for ages. Like, can I not get a charging handle on this gun? But for some reason, because I had put the upper screw on, I just wasn't sure it was going to work. And it does look like it's not going to work because it looks like it's not. It needs a bigger screw to bolt it in place. Yeah, it just doesn't want to stick in there. Looks like it needs a bigger bolt, if that makes sense, because the bolt that I've currently got just isn't biting it. But that's handy to know, because all I need to do is find the bolt that will screw in, and then that, in theory, can have a charging handle. So now, time to try and line this shit up and at least get some kind of screw down there. So let's try this one, because out of the two, this is the smaller one. It's the more annoying one, but it's the smaller one. So if I can kind of guide it down there, maybe I might have lift off. Do you know what? I've got a better idea. If that screw doesn't fit, I'll try this one. If that doesn't fit, I'll keep trying until I find a screw that fits. You see what I mean about having to be patient, because it could be the most littlest thing, like finding the right size bolt or the right size, what's it called? Spring or O-ring, or I'm telling you, the most simplest little things that cause you the biggest dramas. Yeah, so that still looks like that's a bit too big. A little part of me is tempted to glue this housing in. My problem is, I know after like 100 rounds or 200 rounds, again, it's gonna fall out. So give me a sec. Let me try to find a screw that will work for that. Is that long enough though? That's the question. You see what I say? You really do have to love airsoft, because if you don't like the thing or love the thing, half these projects you'd quit on. I got so much. That's another thing. So much people on the channel ask me, like, how do you go through the process of what you're going through right now? You guys can see it. Just try your hardest not to get frustrated when you run into a problem, and if you do, pause the project for that day, innit? Because sometimes it's not that day that you're meant to finish that project. Sometimes it's just not in the stars that day. You don't have the patience, you don't have the parts, you might not have the skill set. Some projects I've had to leave for weeks until I can understand how the thing actually works, like the whole system. Like before I was a Glock boy, so I didn't understand even how high cappers were put together, and I had to proper like go through like this almost like 4 or 5 months of not even owning a high capper myself, but getting feedback and from people who did have high cappers, and then I had to go through the process of owning a few of them myself, taking them apart, running into issues. Ugh, that's still not working, you know. I've got a slightly another idea. Hopefully this screw isn't too long. And even sometimes, you know what I would say to anybody who, some of my mates have families and stuff, and they're like, oh, I could never do that with the kids running around and whatnot. Sometimes ask yourself if a build, what you're trying to achieve is actually worth building. So you see with me, with this automatic gun, it's like, I already know, do you know what? Maybe I should use a smaller one, you know, because you see that's locking straight away into place. The problem is my hammer won't hit something that long. So I think I've found a solution, guys. The problem is the screw's too long, so give me 2 seconds, because at least I now know what will work. But yeah, I always say to guys like that, like, if I have, like, I do have family, but I currently don't live with my little ones, which is why I have the ability to do what I'm doing right now with ease. I can kind of do as I please. But there was, like, I'll say this, when I first started playing airsoft, the kids were around. I used to have them on the weekends, you know, you do the little co-parenting thing. And I'd either do it when they're asleep, or, like I said, I'd work out if a build is even worth it. Because, like, maybe with the automatic high capper like I'm doing now, I'd still finish a gun like this, because I feel like it works so well with the ZCI parts and the cow parts that it justifies what I'm going through right now. It genuinely does, because if you notice now I've secured its upper, it's in there secure, it works. So there's some guns that justify themselves. If I'm trying to build, I don't know, an automatic Glock, fully customizable by me, I'd probably give up by hitting the 3rd or 4th problem. And it's not because I'm a quitter, but I'd probably give up for the basis of, there's automatic Glocks you can buy stock that operate fine. Do you get what I'm saying? There's quite a few. Umerix do a good one. WE, their Glocks are pretty good and affordable. yeah, there's bare companies. I could list quite a few companies, funny enough, because there's a few Glocks on the market that's pretty nice. So yeah, something like that, I'd give up on the build by now, because there's no guarantee I'm gonna build something better than what the companies already out there have built. And like I said, for 150, that's not even mad money. Like, that's quite cheap. There's like, yeah, I bought standard high cappers and stuff for like more, like less, for yeah, more money than that. So for 150, you can't really go wrong. So something like that. The point I was trying to make, because some you're probably gonna be like, what the hell is he now talking about? Like, the point I was trying to make was, you sometimes have to know when to quit on a build. And I have been asked, how do you know when that time comes? Like, when it's just time to throw in the towel and start something else. And I think, like I'm saying, with this high capper build, if I ran into 15 problems and couldn't find a solution, I would eventually quit. If you notice, when I run into a problem now, I just look for the right screw size, or look for the right nozzle, or look for the right what's it called, nozzle spring, or do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're easy fixes. But there's guns that, like I said, when I was trying to build the Glocks, some of them builds I gave up on just for the mere fact that it was pointless. It's like I was trying to build something that a company on the market is already created, so all I need to do is humble myself and go over to that company and use their mod off that gun, because their mod, there's nothing wrong with their mod off that gun. Like, their mod, some of the mods were actually pretty good, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Some of the mods were actually really good. So yeah, like, for those people who, because I was asked that probably about a month ago, like, when do you know when to stop on a build? If I hit more than 10 problems that are not, like, I just can't find fixes for, like, it's just that whether the parts aren't made anymore, or I can't ship them to my country for something that is reasonable enough, that makes sense. Or, like I said, if I can look for if I can go on Google and type automatic high cap and find one for a reasonable price, I would have just chilled by now. The reason why I still build mine, because I know some people are going to be like, oh, you've got the TM Extreme 4.5, so you wouldn't need to build what you're building right now. But the TM 4.5 has problems. It has a lot of problems. It's a good gun, but it has a lot of problems. And even because its lack of ability to turn off that automatic function, yeah, it kind of makes it not usable in most spaces. So that's why, for example, I didn't buy that. Whereas with something like this, all I've literally got to do is almost like raise a specific part on the gun, and it goes back to semi. Or I could just change out the lower, and I've got so many high kappa lowers that wouldn't really be a drama, if you get what I mean. I've got bare semi lowers for high kappa. That's probably the most consistent part that I've got, if I'm to be bluntly honest. So yeah, for those people who are like, why didn't you just buy one? Because I wanted something that works the way I want it to work, and I didn't want something that stock somebody else's version is better. Do you get what I'm saying? So what's going on here? It's like you don't want to go in. Okay, there we are. So you see, little things like that, like you even have to find solutions around, because that's a very tight fit. It still cycles though, so that's good to know. Ugh, don't tell me I put too much short stroke. I did an inch or two too much short stroke. I'm really going through it with this bad boy today. I'm gonna have to take a break after this. Yeah, that's quite a snug fit, isn't it? That's because I've got housing on there that really shouldn't be on there. And you know what I am gonna do is just cut this one off. Because in all honesty, I don't need this one. This is the one I took off the kit gun that I built. So for you guys who've seen the kit gun, see what I'm saying? Sometimes you end up using the parts for other things. And to be fair, I've got bare of this tube, this plastic tube. I've got lots of it, so it's why I'm cutting it off. If I didn't have lots of it, I probably would have left it. Okay, boom. So in theory, now that should work, because I've cut the inch off. Just need to squeeze that back on again, and hopefully the more I put it on this gun, is the more easier that process will be. It's just where obviously it's a part that shouldn't necessarily be on the gun. But you see cycling, so that's the important thing. Yes, you're making it through the cutout. That's a good sign. Which means that the short stroke, sorry, was already set. So I didn't need to set it, because look, it's not even clipping the back camera. So that's a good sign. Because normally that's one of the biggest problems with these automatic guns. It's like they clip. Come on, please load and work. If you load and work, I'll be so over the moon. I need a high Capa mag. Give me one sec, peeps. Like I said, y'all gotta love me forever. This is another hour's worth of video. You cannot say I do not put that work in when it comes to this airsoft game, boy. I want to do quite a few, maybe half a mag, just so we can say that it definitely is operational. The problem is I should have used an extendo mag. The good thing is I've got a HPA tank next to me, so I'll test it on that afterwards. Which is actually a good point. Let me test that on that now, in fact. Why does my room smell like somebody's smoking, man? It's almost like somebody's smoking outside my room or inside. Maybe that's what it is. It's outside the room, innit? Obviously the road. Maybe somebody's walked past and they're burning ciggy. So that's probably what I'm smelling. I'm like, what is that smoky smell? It's not me, geezer. Okay, so we're gonna chuck that tap in there. The moment of truth, people. Whether or not an hour's worth of work was pointless. Are you ready? That's not a good sign. It might just be the slide clipping it though, innit? Let's try this again. Oh, do you know what I might need to do? I might need to just up the FPS. Because in theory, yeah, do you see it dropped itself back? It dropped its PSI back to 40 PSI. That's not even a lot to push a normal high Capa. So we're going to put it up to 80 and we'll see how we do at 80 PSI. Yeah, do you see 80 PSI cycling? The problem is, I'm not sure if that nozzle is returning. It looks like it is. So let me just test it with this bad boy. Moment of truth. Cause it looks like it's cycling. And it's at 80 PSI. I kind of want to push it to 100 a little bit because auto does take that little bit more to run. But I'll test that in a second. It's like it's cycling a couple, but it's not quite cycling all the way through. But you know what it might actually be? I had this problem before when I built the original automatic high Capa. Because them small mags only have a certain amount of gas in the chamber, they often don't cycle. How do I explain it? They often won't cycle an automatic gun properly because they're just not giving out enough power. So give me 2 seconds, let me grab, because it just cycled on. Do you know what? Maybe leave that, because that would still cause a problem. I think I know the solution around this, because the extended mags, where they've got bigger chamber, they can keep up with that cycling. So I used to run all the automatic high Capas on only extendo mags. So I think what I'm going to do is, this is cycling, the HPA is cycling, and to be fair, I'm planning to run everything HPA. So as long as I can get it to cycle on HPA, in theory, I'm fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill an MP5 mic quick and see if we have any luck with that. Because in theory, based upon what I'm saying, that should work. Like, it's cycling at 80 psi, and I'm still open to push it up to, in a weird way, kind of whatever it needs to go up to. Like, my limit maybe might be about 150, because boy, I'm not trying to break the other parts inside the gun, and you know what I'm saying, certain PSIs might be a bit too much, but yeah, we'll give it a go anyway. I'll see. So that's 265 round max. Let's hope we have liftoff. Because it would be lovely for this to work, you know. It's got 2 springs, so in theory it should, like, unless you want me to put more powerful springs. Ooh, it looks like it's working now. I'm gonna have to, yeah, it's working though. I think the biggest issue I'm gonna face now is the, I think, okay, so it's so annoying because I can't say it's not done, but I can't say it's done. So essentially what's happening is because the housing seats slightly at an angle, it's clipping with this. And you know what would be a noise is if I could put this on the Novrich lower, because that might solve the problem. But yeah, like, because the housing is seating at an angle, it means that, like, and I'll show you because it will cycle, you know, it's cycling. Like, I literally just shot maybe like 4 or 5 BBs. I just feel like what I'm gonna have to do is sit one day at the range and cycle single shot, cycle maybe like 400 BBs out of this, because the slide has to do that motion, it will shave away the thing that's rubbing. I could probably take off the slide and probably sand it down. My only problem with that would be I don't want to do damage to other areas of the gun in sanding things down. So I'd rather the slide just keep. So what I might even do is sit one day when I'm bored, like watching a video edit, and just sit here going like that. Because after maybe like 100, 200 times of doing that, it will shave the part I'm talking about down itself. So, because you see, like, it's making it back fine. I just think on the high powers consistently at points it would stop, especially if the housing isn't lined up perfectly, which is why I was trying to push it all the way to the top of the chamber. So every time it does that, it's just straightening it out and wearing away what doesn't need to be there. But I feel like we've done it. It's just I now need to wear it in a bit. Yeah, like, and you know what? Let me check something else because the PSI might be dropping. So let's give that a go. Yeah, do you see, like, it's actually shooting now? Whoa. So that's actually a good thing. So that's what 120 seems to be given. Maybe that was the solution with the old gun then, you know? Because the old gun used to function so well when it did function. The problem was I felt like after like 5 to 6 clicks off that trigger, which when you think about it, it's quite smart because it used to shoot maybe like 10 BBs every click off a trigger. So that would have been like 40, 50 BBs. And then obviously the chamber's too low for it to keep functioning. Whereas on a HPA bottle, I've got whatever amount of HPA, like high powered air. And then as long as your reg is where you need it to be, I think we finished it then, you know, guys. Because look, that's firing. And that's firing pretty sick, like. Oh, it's because it's on safety. I'm bugging. So for a second, I'm thinking, why is the gun not firing? I put it on safety. That shit's actually funny. Yeah, like, guys, that it's working. what I am gonna do is write a note somewhere that has to do with this gun, High Capa Auto, and just write down the PSI, because 120 seems to be its sweet spot. 120.
If you've been glued to TikTok this year, or even if you've never used it, this is the very best of 2024's clips.
So you see, I've got to defo go range tomorrow because there's like 4 guns I've got to test. I've got to test the kit gun because I've just finished building the kit gun. I've now got to test this, and I'm actually pretty pleased with this because one of my biggest dramas with this gun, first and foremost, was I felt like, number one, the slide was going faster than the BB nozzle was able to keep up with. So every time you click it, the slide might go back like, say, 10 times, for example, but you're only shooting maybe 2 or 3 BBs. So, and I knew what the problem was. The problem was the nozzle wasn't keeping up. Every time it moved forward and backwards, let's say like it went back forwards and backwards 10 times, the nozzle would only move, say, 2 or 3 times, which is why you was only getting 2 or 3 shots. Now, and I don't want it to sound like I'm cheating, I hope you guys can hear the audio from what I keep on doing with this. This thing is delivering every single BB. So every time it cycles back and forwards, it's giving me that BB. So it's like I've solved the problem, because the first problem for me was the nozzle that was currently in there, this one, the one from Vosk, wasn't like, some could say it wasn't powerful enough and wasn't light enough to keep up with the auto function. That was the first thing. Secondly, it wasn't able to keep up with the BB capacity, because like I said, even when the auto gun was working as it was, if you watch the old videos, it would go back 10 times, but only 2 or 3 BBs is going out. Now, that's not the case. Like, every single time that goes back, a BB is going out, because it's obviously charging it and it's able to keep up with its HPA. So I think I will, and the good thing is this has a long ass barrel. This has the barrel from the Novrich SSP5 6.1, I think it is. Yeah, the 6.1 edition. So in theory, I could run this outdoors, number one. And number two, I've now got the auto function. So in theory, yeah, I think this will make it into the outdoor. I wanted this just as like a range gun, just something to go range and have fun with, so that I didn't really have to trouble my game guns. But I think this, if I take it range, 'cause I'm gonna go range, man. I'm gonna just do it. If I take it to range and it does what I want it to do, this may just make it into the outdoor loadout. That's very interesting. I don't think you guys understand. I'm actually scared to shoot again indoors. Like, just what I'm saying. And it's keeping up. Like, you can see about 6, 7 come out. Like, it's actually quite interesting. A little part of me wants to dash a tracer on it for that same sake. But that's very. I don't want to take the piss in it, because it's on its way into 1, guys. So I don't want to do too much to my neighbors, in it. But that's very interesting. Like, that's very I'm gonna just end the video here, because you guys are gonna make me tempted to continue shooting this, and to be honest, it's very noisy. So I'm just gonna say the High Capa 5.1 auto is done. And technically it's a 5.1/6.1, because it's a 5.1 frame, but it's got 6.1 barrel. So yeah. And you know what? Let me try and shoot it in the limelight so you guys can see what's happening here. Cause this is brazy. Like, let me try and spin it. This is absolutely brazy.
You can't trust anyone.
Give me 1 sec. I actually want to see what's happening. Yeah, man. Like, guys, I'm so excited to take this to the range. Like, I kind of want to just put it away because it's making me want to shoot it more. So essentially, all you guys who was watching originally when I first started the High Capa auto build, it's done. Because the one thing was finding a nozzle that can keep up, that's not necessarily from Cow or somebody like that. We've done that. Finding a housing that can keep up, we've done that. Finding a safety that works on a gun. If you notice, the safety actually works now, and it works on both sides, so that's fine. And like I said, fixing the issue so that the nozzle is actually delivering as many BBs as the nozzle, as the upper is cycling. And that's what's, guys, I want to shoot it again. And if I get it now, it's because where you've got two springs, there's no way it can fail. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas in most high Capa nozzles, there's only one. So yeah, high Capa brands, I think that's something you guys need to do. Like make it stock that any, and not even just high Capas, even Glock users, because I'm a Glock guy, you know. I got a couple Glocks local, like I'm a Glock man too. But like, stop giving us parts that are shit. Because even don't get me wrong, Cow's one don't even need two springs. And ZCI's housing, it doesn't even need it. It does the job perfectly fine. But I'm saying, imagine if well, I'm never going to say that. I'm going to say, if you guys need housings for these stuff and nozzles, shout me. I got you. 'Cause I know how to do the custom that I just showed you. So why go anywhere else? Come to the source, my guy. But yeah, like, I'm actually scared to squeeze the trigger. Like, this gun is so fucking erratic. Like, what's happening? Okay, it's because it knows there ain't no bullets in it. Cool. Which is nice, because that's even another function. Like, in all my chosen guns, like my go-to guns, you can hear when nothing's shooting out of them. And it's like, even this gun, it's like it's telling you, I've got nothing in me, bro. I want something to load. Oh, don't tell me I broke it. Did I break it? It looks like I broke it. Mad thing. To be fair, it was already broken and I just glued it. So I think what I'm going to have to do is wrap, because this is my backup one. I'm going to have to wrap some... Oh, it's so annoying, man. I didn't even want to wrap anything around it. But if that continues, I'll see if it breaks out any further. And if it does break out any further, then yeah, I'm going to have to wrap that with some electric tape. Because look at that, man. Come on, man, AirTag. How are you, man, selling me things that's clean snapping like that? Keep in mind, I've put spray paint over it, so technically it should be stronger. Like, look at that. Fix up AirTag. I know I can contact them and get one back, but it's that big, man. All I did was wobble my mag a little bit. The thing snapped. Fucking hell. But yeah, and I wobbled the mag so that the mag would seat in it properly. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, and I've used a compatible mag that they told me was compatible. It's anyways. Yeah, what go on? Why you sound like that? I'm gonna have to grease this up quite often just to keep that slide in motion. I wonder if I could take this outdoors and actually get away with it without them saying too much, because it's so accurate. Yeah, like, it's so accurate. The only thing is, I'm gonna have to wear down that top slide for true, because you can just see every 10 shots or something, it's like it's catching, so it's affecting how the gas seats. And obviously, if the chamber doesn't seat perfectly, like back to battery, why does that look like that? It looks like the barrel's moving as well. Okay, it looks alright now. Could be a bit more seated greatly, but do you know, I might take it off and reseat that, you know, because that might be the problem where the barrel is kind of moved out of place. Let me just see quickly. Yeah, let me just seat it back. When it was seated, it was operating fine. So I'm gonna just continue this video so you guys can see potential things because it's firing, you know, don't get me wrong. In fact, like, most people would have just been like, all right, I'm done and put it away, but I don't like the way that front barrel moved as I shot the gun, because if you notice, like, there's like an inch between where it should be seating and where it is seating now. So I want to just make sure I remove that. It's so interesting because out here it's sat how it should be sat. Because look, it's in the cutout that should be in the cutout. So yeah, maybe I just need to allow it still. Nozzle, I'm gonna re-grease you a little bit more. Just so we get the best out of you. Slide, I'm gonna re-grease ya. So we get the best out of you as well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take these bad boys to range. I probably won't have a mad long session at the range. I just wanna check that everything functions well. Everything functions well. Everything's kind of game ready. Maybe get chronoed. Get everything chronoed, and that should be it. And I see all the issues. It is flush, but it's not 100% flush. Like there's still an inch that some could argue that could go down a little bit. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? But wear and tear will remove that because these guns move so fast that, like I said, even just sitting here for 20 minutes, like that slid on a lot more better than it did the first time. So trust me, that's a wear and tear fix. Like if it was jamming, cause I've had guns that like I've put, how do you want to explain it? I put like plastic slides on them, and they're so problematic. Them 3D printed slides, they're so problematic. You normally have to wear them down before they'll even shoot consistently. So, and they take ages. I just did that in like maybe 30 shots. So that's pretty good. Like I can see maybe the time. What just happened there? What just happened there? Give me 1 sec. I don't like the way my hammer setting just moved. I might have to put. God, that's not even the right one. This is the one from. No, it is the right one. Because it's white. It's got white on it, so I painted at the same time. So maybe over time I'll upgrade this then. It still works though. It's working. So let me leave it. It's probably where it's working harder because this gun isn't built to be an auto gun. Yeah, GC's functioning. Does safe work? Yeah, safe works. Both sides. So yeah, we're alright. It's just me bugging. It's probably the wear and tear. Yeah, do you see guys? Perfectly fine. I am gonna have to wear it a bit because sometimes it doesn't set itself back into battery. So it's like the Glocks when Glocks are low on power, and even that makes me think maybe that means I could push it past 120, you know, to maybe like 140. The problem is pushing a gun's PSI up that high with the upper barrel that I've got in there. Yeah, that makes it not a game gun. Like this is something that I should. It'd be like a range gun for me because it's just way too powerful. You know what I'm saying? Running at 120 just so it will cycle with another rich barrel. Yeah, bro. I don't think this would even be sight legal unless I run it as like a DMR, and obviously it's an automatic gun, so I can't do that. Yeah, and I don't even think it has to be 120, you know. 140. This is a wear and tear. It works perfectly fine. This actually works better than the original auto high capper because the original auto high capper had this thing where it, like I said, it just wouldn't keep up with the BBs. Like this goes into safety, it cycles on every single upper slide movement. It's fast, it feels fun to shoot. like I said, the biggest problem I see is it doesn't always go back into battery, but I know what's causing that. So I think maybe let me run 1,000 BBs, maybe 2,000 BBs out of this bad boy, and then we'll revisit it. If it doesn't work, or I've found problems with it, I'll revisit you guys in another video and just say, oh, this is the problem, or this is the problem. But I would say for the moment, you can't really go wrong. Like, this is sick. Like, this is actually sick. Like, yeah, that battery issue though. The good thing is you can correct it as soon as it goes back into. Do you know what might be the solution though? If I short stroked it, it has less movement to get back to battery. So maybe that might be the solution. Madly short stroke it. Because with this one, it's a 5-1, so you'd still need the ability. It's not like a Titan. I'll come back to that because it cycles, it goes and it does everything I want it to do, to be fair. Yeah, and it's so accurate. So for me, at this stage, I'm going to call this one a day and just say we are finished, guys. I'm happy with it. It operates lovely. What I do want to do is take this bad boy to the range and just gauge an understanding of what it shoots FPS wise, but I'll get back to you guys on that. But yeah, another gun build. This one took a bit of time because we're now on an hour and 20 minutes, but when you're building something that isn't meant to be that way, you're gonna run into some problems. So yeah, this is your boy Yardman Leng, or Yardman 9 as you guys call me nowadays, or Yardman. And yeah, this is the auto high capper. And if you notice, I'm starting to learn how to shoot it so it only stays in semi. In the beginning, it was a nightmare trying to learn that, but I'm now getting a grip with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. On to the next one, peeps.